Gon' vote. Everybody gon' vote. Everybody gon' vote. Everybody gon' vote. Comrade! Labor right, them a go down, bong. Them a go down, bong. Them a go down. Is that? Marky, him a God picking. No hope their work if you touch Marky. Marky, him a God picking. No hope their work if you touch Marky. We now vote for Labour. Orange we a come out in now. If you love the PNP, who no step out for Marky G. Jamaica just come along with we. People time come, people time come, people time is up.
Only thing that's on my mind is who's gonna run this town tonight.
Yeah, I said that we are pledge of allegiance.
Who's gonna run this town tonight?
Yeah, I said that we
We gonna run this town.
Make the trumpets play. Make the trumpets play.
On that.
There was a loan to a prime minister, Ralston.
Yep.
That was not paid back because he said he forget the loan. Was that a part of the bank's problem back in the late 80s, early 90s?
No, that was part of the problem in 1996 when Central National Bank went down. That money was borrowed from Central National Bank, which was run by Don Crawford. Yeah. So, the crisis started with Blaze Trust and Merchant Bank in 1994, and then Central National went down with about $6 billion for the Bank of Jamaica.
So, which bank did Mr. Siaga borrow the money from?
Central National Bank, $30 million US.
So, hold on. Then why do you think of Jamaican?
No, man, US dollar, man. They were using it to build the place called La Carinosa, Enchanted Gardens in St. Ann.
In Ocherius. Hold on.
Yeah, man.
Portland people no come to the front of the line, let me tell you something. Every Portlander come to the front of the line, let me tell you something. Ralston, you said in 1996,
yeah,
Mr.
Man.
Siaga borrowed $30 million US. From which bank?
Central National Bank, which was run by Don Crawford. No, he never borrowed in 1996. The bank went down in 1996. He borrowed it while he was Prime Minister.
Right, so he borrowed $30 million US while he was Prime Minister from Central National Bank.
To build Enchanted Gardens in Ocherius.
To build Enchanted Garden in Ocherius. And that was one of the reasons why they took cruise ship from Port Antonio to go to Ocherius so that their business, Enchanted Gardens, could flourish. Portland people no come here. And then, what did Mr. Siaga say about the loan, Ralston?
Boy, he said, boy, I just forgot it. We never remember it.
Take a look at my body. Want the
say you borrow $30 million US dollars. Hey, Raleigh, is there anybody in the government now who used to work for Mr. Siaga then?
Yeah, man, the Prime Minister used to work with him, man.
Hey, tell her. What you say?
Yeah, man, the Prime Minister used to work with him.
You mean in a 1996?
Yeah,
1995?
Yeah, man, Prime Minister used to work with him, man.
So you're saying in 1994, 1995, 1996, somewhere thereabout, the present Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, used to work for Mr. Siaga?
Yeah, man.
As what? What was his position?
Well, he was like an account executive in the office, yeah, because remember Mr. Siaga was his mentor, yeah. So he would have known about all of those things.
Tell her. $30 million US.
Yeah, man.
And say you forget about it. So things like those would come up in the FinSac inquiry.
Yeah, man, of course, that's a part of the whole thing because Central National Bank was the second institution to go down. And they went down with $6 billion from the Bank of Jamaica because the Bank of Jamaica was providing liquidity support to them.
And then the GLP, the Prime Minister himself, loved to talk about FinSac. That caused Jamaica, how much percent of GDP we have to pay out?
40%, $140 billion, 40% of GDP.
100.
I am not a political commentator, and I always try my best to avoid political conversations solely because people get so passionate about it. I have never voted. Election coming would be my third election. I have never voted, and I have never wanted to vote because to me, I just want to stay away from politics altogether. But just watch the video where Mark Golding was talking about his plans for NHT, and I can commend you, sir, that you have won my vote. As a young professional, it is so difficult to own a house in Jamaica, and it's literally no joke. And people would say, oh, you have to work a couple years first, or you have to do this, and whatever the case is. It should not be a case where you have to work, we have to wait until you're like 40 and 45 before you can own a home, when most of we are pay rent, we could have literally pay mortgage. And the reason I believe that these policies are not empty promises like we usually see, well, I'm hoping it's not an empty promise, but it is time bound, and it is actually something that can be done without costing the Jamaican government or the Jamaican people. Because that $500,000 to help you with securing the deposit for the house, it's not like you just get $500,000 in your hand. More than likely, it's going to go back on the price of the house, and you'd have to pay it back. So it's not like say it is free money where them have to go come up with some other source of income to compensate for that freeness what them a give. It's not free, it's just a different way of restructuring so you can actually afford a deposit to secure the house. What me been annoyed with from longer time is why NHT houses are cost upwards of $30 million, and them literally only lending you $7 million towards the house. Like, that just does not make any sense. Either coming like if you never have some money long time, or put aside, or you not do some business, or if you never rich, or whatever the case is, then you're not gonna have the chance of getting one of the NHT houses. And next thing when I realize too, I don't know if other people have been paying attention to certain things, but some of the things them we have fun with national budget. Me understand that we have to do it because we don't have no choice, but it should be a case where them things they're not supposed to have fund national budget. Them things they're not supposed to be considered as an income driver for the country. Like the NHT, right? The minute you start to look at NHT as an income driver for the country, for fund the national budget year after year after year, then the agency are going to just lose its purpose. Because, so now, instead of building affordable housing so that regular people can get, the mindset is now at how can we generate more income for the NHT itself. And that is where you go see them make the expensive house them so that them can sell and make more money off it. And next thing when we see I use as an income driver for the country right now is traffic ticket offenses. Like, come on, that thing increase year after year after year, and this year it got more severe because now they want to meet a threshold in the amount of ticket offenses that they bring in. And while I understand that it is one of the ways that we can get like income for the country or whatever the case, it shouldn't be something that we are look on a long term, or something that we are look on for increase or for put more pressure and to get more income for the country. Like, that not sustainable, and it go just frustrate people. What I really want to see happen is for Jamaica to start do more exports as it relates to like agriculture, and also more manufacturing plants and that type of stuff. We really need to move away from the mindset of using taxes to fund the country. That I could just frustrate people. And I really hope say whoever the next government is, whether it is PNP or GLP, that they actually implement some of these policies and just make life better. That's it. Peace out. Nobody running in the comment section. I take one bag of offense because I know who no love no PLP and I know who no love no GLP, but this is just my view, and I feel like a lot of people have similar views as me.
Sorry, Mr. Mother, we overdo the time, but I remember better when they are the vibe nice and PLP nice. And we can't do no better than blame me. I don't blame it for the me that water me a drink all night. But blame it for the sweetness of PLP. But I'm going in there, I'm in there. We're ready PLP, we're ready PLP. Alright, so the moderator walk up to me right, I can't take it, I know what that means. So let me say one more thing to the people. I mean, I say it earlier and I'm going to say it again. BMP thing, a us thing, a our thing. Alright? That means that we have to work together to... Sorry, Mr. Moderator, we overdo the time, but I remember better when they are the vibe nice and PLP nice. And we can't do no better than blame me. I don't blame it for the me that water me a drink all night. But blame it for the sweetness of PLP. Don't go in there, I'm in there. We're ready PLP, we're ready PLP. PLP, on the last one.
St. Mary is going to be won by the People's National Party. When I say, and I'm going to take it further. When I say young ladies from my division come into a Rockabessa clinic and Port Mara clinic to get contraceptive, and there's a none of the clinic, it means time come for a treat. Them not the pill, them not the injection. It says a lot about our health sector. When I say such man a fix a parish council road and party leader, you drive on the road them, tell me, Western St. Mary.
We're winning by a minimum of 4,000 votes because I am the hardest working candidate in Central St. Mary. I bought some walking shoes in 2023 and I've been walking ever since. I'm walking and walking and walking, and the places I walked before, I walking them again. And I'm walking and walking and I'm walking all the way until I reach Garden House. And non-stop walk. Now comrades, Central St. Mary starts off with a certain advantage. When you have tried and true labor rights also telling their family that they rather not vote than vote against Omar Newell, then you know that any candidate sizing up have a problem. So I don't want to spend a lot of time worrying about it. We're winning by a minimum of 4,000 votes because I am the hardest working candidate in Central St. Mary. Comrade, party leader, and the next Prime Minister of Jamaica, Mark Jefferson Woolley. Comrade, next member of Parliament for Western St. Mary, and my brother, Ahmed Woodman. Comrade, the next member of Parliament, who want to walk in that great constituency as an MP, Comrade Omar Newell. Worship, every time. Comrades on the platform, comrade councillors, comrade councillor candidates. When I drove in tonight and I see the crowd, I said I have a message for the party leader tonight. A party that the message that whenever such man call the election, whether he call it tomorrow, or he call it in September, or whenever I want to call it, I want to. Comrade, party leader, time come to get rid of this corrupt government. Time come to get a better health service in this country. Time come to prevent the waiting from 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the hospital the next year to get medical attention. Time come for a better education system in this country. Time come for better roads in this country. Time come for better water supplies in this country. And comrades, let me tell you, the only party that can bring that is the People's National Party. So I say to you, comrades, I say to you, that if you are prepared to have a better Jamaica, if you are prepared to have a better Jamaica for your children and your children's children, when the election shall have been called, you will do, I want you to listen to me carefully, you will do like what the big laborites said in Samstrad Square. Time come to get rid of this corruption.
He is a man with a serious attitude. He is a man with a caring heart. He's a man who knows how to get things done. A businessman, a self-made man, a family man. And I know he won't rip you off. I know he won't abuse his position. I know he won't discriminate against anyone. Because he believes that Jamaica comes first. And I know that he will do the People's National Party proud in the way that he represents you as your member of parliament when the time comes. So comrades, I have to ask you, are you ready to deliver Comrade Woodbine as your MP for the People's National Party? Yeah, man. He is a government that knows right from wrong. A government that knows that the resources of the people are not there for Fred and company to benefit from, but are for the people's benefit and the people alone. A government that has a vision to lift the people and take the country forward in one accord, in a unified approach of progress. We need to move from where we are now, where Jamaica's aspirations for the most part are to migrate, to leave our shores because they don't see hope here under this government. We need to turn that around. We need to build a more productive economy, an economy that generates wealth for our people. It must be built on investing in our human capital, our people, through strengthening the education system, fixing the early childhood and primary system, which is now failing so many. A government that knows right education, and we're committed to training. And our people need housing. Housing in Jamaica has been a situation where affordable housing for the people has been left behind. The houses which are built for the most part under the Labour Party are houses that none of you can afford. They don't care about the people's needs. There is a huge unfulfilled demand for affordable housing. And with Professor Senator Floyd Morris, we're determined to build 50,000 affordable houses in our first term of office. It's already, comrades, identifying the lands where we can build those houses, identifying the designs of the houses, using modern approaches, climate-friendly approaches with water harvesting and solar energy, delivery, and we're coming. For public sector workers who want to reintroduce the special interest rates that were taken away by this government. For public sector workers, we want to say, when you buy a house, you have 3 months before you have to start paying your mortgage, so you can sort things out, buy your furniture and so on. We're thinking about the people. We have the rent-to-own scheme for all those who are informally employed and can't prove their income because they don't get a pay slip, but them have made their money. They can go into the house and occupy it as a tenant, paying rent equal to the mortgage, and as long as they meet the commitments for say 6 months, we'll say yes, you have proved that you're worthy to get a mortgage, even though you can't produce a pay slip, and we will bring them to the mortgage and bring in the mortgage and make them into owners, and they can move forward with their lives. The People's National Party is thinking about the needs of the people. For public sector work government, the imported food bill has gone up from 800 million to over 1.4 billion US dollars a year, imported food. And we're seeing a lot of those imports are impacting our farmers, especially when those imports are brought in by importers who get special permits through Fred and Company business. And the labor rights are famous for that. We're going to say some of those import taxes that are being collected on that food, we're going to establish poor farmers to move forward, help them to be more productive, help them with things like fertilizer, irrigation systems and storage for goods to reduce post-harvest losses. Right now in Jamaica, 30% of what is produced ends up spoiling after harvest because there's no proper storage or transportation system for the farmers. The government, the important friends, the change of which I speak is based on a solid ethical foundation. We want a government where the people can trust that they're not being deceived, that they're not being lied to, that they're not being ripped off by those who have obtained power in the name of the people, but are using it to further their own well-being and that of their friend and company. We need a government that is focused on uplifting the people by tackling the very serious challenges we have in our social sector, in our health sector, as Dr. Guy has described, in our education system, as I've already mentioned. And we build a strong foundation for our economy so that it's more versatile and more resilient by building agriculture and building logistics and building the creative industries, supporting our musicians, our artists, and friends. The change of which I speak is based on a solid ethical foundation. We want a government.
We're not going to false promise. On the things that we are putting back in the office. On the things that we are novice. On the better listen to this. Vote them out cause them not see we when we young. Vote them out from Kingston to country. Vote them out cause when they win them a go dump way. We have to tell them promptly people that vote them out cause them not see we when we young. Vote them out from Kingston to country. Vote them out, we have to tell them promptly. Cause when they win them a go dump way. Marky, you know you the people them really want to see a great leader who will talk to we. Put on the boat and go, they go walk to we. Yes, go march to we. Because we have some guy with them on a intention, leading the country in the wrong direction. That's why we come to make we own a selection. This we are gonna do when in call the election. Vote them out cause them not see we when we hungry. Vote them out from Kingston to country. Vote them out cause when they win them a go dump way. So we are tell them promptly people that vote them out cause them not see we when we hungry. Vote them out from Kingston to country. Vote them out cause when they win them a go dump way. We have to tell them